once again for listening to and on RGCWV Random Geek Culture in West Virginia. Here we talk about all things geek, from Ash the Pokemon trainer to Zero Suit Samus.
And I am Luke Hersey, and I'm here to talk about Super Smash Brothers.
Ultimate!
Yeah.
Ultimate! My co-host tonight is Mike and Alex. And my guest tonight is my beautiful dollar Bella.
Hi.
Argy made it.
Hello.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing fabulous.
Yeah,
Are we?
after we fixed all the
Awesome possum.
some of the
technical difficulties.
Yeah, oh my
Technical
god, it was so bad.
difficulties.
It's so bad.
1 hour later.
1 hour later.
When
So
we
we're gonna
start the
we're just gonna breeze through everything.
All right, let's do
Super
this.
quick. We're not gonna make a bunch of breaks. Tonight we're gonna talk about Super Smash Brothers, as we said. Hopefully we'll get a little off topic, not too much, but we
Not
are
too
gonna
far.
stay true to the name, Random Geek Culture in West Virginia. So,
Because we live in West Virginia.
and we're geeks. We are all a bunch of geeks. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and change it up a little bit, and let's start off with I call this geek trivia, but it's not. It's more... Okay, we got a question this week from one of our fans. This shout-out goes to Hannah. Hi, Hannah.
Hi.
And she asks the very important question, and she asks, what is the difference between a geek and a nerd?
Geeks bite the head off chickens.
Okay, so I actually, on researching this question, I came across the literal translation for geek, and I think we're looking for more in terms of slang in the pop culture. So nowadays, the term of nerd is more an intelligent person but has very little social skills. But a geek,
So like Anais and Gumball.
right.
She has very little social skills.
But in terms of geeks, they are subject matter experts or enthusiasts of a certain subject. Like, for instance, Bella would, I would say, be an enthusiast of Dragon Ball or a
Yes.
Dragon Ball geek. Alex is a anime geek. All things anime. Would you agree with that, Alex?
Yeah, I'm a lot of kinds of geek, though.
I'm also a geek in Superhero High.
You can
Yeah,
have
geeks.
sub-level geeks.
It's my thinking about the difference between geeks and nerds. Isn't the academic answer, but geeks. Okay, nerds are smart. Nerds are
I'm
really
smart.
enthusiastic about things like math and computer science and programming and stuff like that, and chemistry and physics. That's a nerd to me.
Yeah.
Geeks are more about pop culture. Geeks
I'm
are
good in
more
chemistry.
about Star Trek and Star Wars and Doctor Who and stuff.
I like Goldbergs.
But that's my thinking.
That's a good answer, Alex. That's a good answer, and better than mine. So, geek outs for this week. What are you guys geeking out about?
I'm gonna go last.
Okay, all right. For me, I geek out super hard about classic arcades. Down in Huntington, they've got one classic arcade that's also a brewery. It's called the Peddler. They've got great burgers. They have some really cool appetizers.
They have really cool popcorn.
Yeah, it's a kettle cooked popcorn made with what's the frozen stuff?
Snow cones?
No, it looked like it was steaming hot, but it was actually really cold.
Okay, Terminator 2. The T-1000. What did he get frozen with?
Liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen. So they make your kettle cooked popcorn with liquid nitrogen.
Wow.
It's super
That's interesting.
cool. It's super cool. But anyway, getting back to the whole video game arcade thing. So the upstairs of that place is all classic arcade. Like,
I beat Daddy in the shooting one. Like
the shooting... Oh, yeah,
That
Time
is the
Cop.
wrestling one. And in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, I started beating him with my Mii character and Princess Peach. Princess Peach, the umbrella is very useful.
Yes, it is.
Should I say what I geek about now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the new Wreck-It Ralph movie, it's good. And the that Mary Poppins is coming out. Dumbo and, well, you know, Dragon Ball because the movie is coming out.
I am excited for Mary
I've seen almost
Poppins.
all the commercials.
Trailers?
Previews.
Yeah, good.
Comment favorite movies whenever I was little, but that and a couple others that I hope this new movie doesn't I hope it brings that to a new generation. But what I'm geeking out about, like right now, right exactly now, I'm playing this game, and I've played it a lot of times. FTL. You ever hear of FTL?
Faster Than Light?
It's faster than light. It's this ship game that like you shoot other ships. It's what they call a roguelike.
Yeah.
That it's different every time, and you don't necessarily. It's hard. It's really neat. There's a lot of cool stuff to unlock, and I'm trying to unlock the super secret special ship, and I'm working on it.
The one game that I liked more than that one, because I liked Faster Than Light as far as like a roguelike space exploration. Did you ever play Out There Omega Edition? Did you ever play that one?
I will look it up.
Oh, it's
and I have not.
It's
I'll
so
look
good,
into that one.
and it's very, very reminiscent of. You remember those old, like, almost adventure novels where you open them up and it's like, if you want to go here, turn to page 104, but if you want to go here, you turn to page 202.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me very much of those.
Huh.
Can I see another video game that I'm geeking about?
Sure.
Dragon Ball Z Fighter. I like fighting Daddy because I win a lot. And I also like the story level. I just unlocked Vegeta, and I unlocked Piccolo, and Goku was the first character you unlock. Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin.
Yeah, she's really liking that story mode.
Nice.
All right.
They're getting harder to beat. Now I know how to teleport and do the Kamehameha with the buttons. And one thing that you can do with Krillin always makes Daddy lose. It's you throw up 2 bolts in the air and then you don't see it like for a minute, and then it always smashes Daddy right when he's down, like about to die.
I always forget.
Every
time. I always forget about it. What are you geeking out about?
Well, I am working on a book trailer, because it's science fiction. I decided there's no point in going out and filming something because this is not the world that this is set in. So I've been trying to do everything through computer animation. And, so this forced me to go back into my roots of
Flash.
Animating in Flash, which is now called Animate. But I also am dabbling in Adobe Suite, like all the programs they make. Okay. Which is it's a 3D character creator program that you can then import into like game animation software, web-based. Mixamo, I think is what it's called. And so I have been playing around with that for like a week now, and it's it's time consuming, and I've been trying to find ways to incorporate the 3D renderings back into Flash, which has been the tricky part because Flash does 3D models. Yeah. So I've actually been going through and screenshotting individual frames off the Mixamo page, and then running that through Photoshop, and then incorporating each individual file back into Flash. And so it's been time consuming. It's been a challenge, but I'm starting to get some decent results out of it though. But it's one of those things where I've getting into the nuts and bolts of computer animation. Yeah. So fun stuff.
That's awesome, man.
All right. Let's move along.
But Smash Brothers! Smash Brothers Ultimate is out! Oh my god!
Whoa.
Smash Brothers!
Jesus.
Oh man. Can I just say one thing before we even start? It may be too early to call it, but this may be better than Melee.
So
culture.
I think perhaps an unpopular opinion, because it's such a big deal among the competitive community. Melee was more significant for its time, but not. It doesn't hold up as much as people claim. At least I don't think.
I was actually in a tournament at the WV PopCon, not last year, but the year before, and
Did you win?
I still had fun. I placed, I think.
Was that Melee?
Yeah, it was Melee. Now, nobody wanted to play the one for
it's
Wii.
always Melee.
Sure.
That's the only one that's played competitively. And
it's so...
I bet you got beat by Pikachu, too.
No, I didn't get beat by Pikachu. But you can guess what character I was.
Link.
No, Marth. I'm always Marth.
He's Marth or Link.
It's been 14 years since I played you last.
Yeah.
The 3 characters I usually am is Wizard Pikachu, the one with the little wizard hat. The Violet Peach, I like that one. Or the me one. The me.
Okay, you're getting ahead. You're getting ahead. That's one of our other topics. Okay.
Yeah. So regarding like competitive stuff, I gotta say, Smash Brothers Ultimate has done a lot of things, and I think they're quite deliberate to make it the new platform, to make that popular among competitive gaming.
I mean, there's
They've
a reason.
done a lot in that way, and I hope that it catches.
That makes me happy to hear that.
I mean, I feel like they called it Ultimate for a reason. When they were putting this together, they were like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. This is the best thing they've ever done.
That's something else Go ahead.
Plus, they ran out of fight synonyms.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What's that? I like
Rumble,
M&Ms,
maybe? I don't know.
And I don't know what a fight M&M is.
What?
Did you say fight M&Ms?
It's
M&Ms that are fighting?
It's
Fight
two
synonym.
words that mean the same
Oh.
thing.
You know what a synonym
It's like
is.
grammar.
Yeah, I know what a cinnamon is, but it sounded like you said M&M.
So yeah, regarding what Luke was saying about Ultimate Smash Brothers, part of me thinks, where do they go from here?
That's a
Like,
good
I mean,
point.
I know it'll be many years
But
before we even think about another Smash Brothers game.
I actually have
but
something.
really, go ahead.
I have something for this. Okay, so Street Fighter, the new Street Fighter. How long has that been out?
Oh, years.
5. It's been out for 5
Yep.
years, and they are still keeping up with it. They are still updating it. In fact, they just announced the other day. It was actually It became live on the 11th, where they were going to start incorporating ads, because everybody agrees that this is one of the best Street Fighters in years. It works very well. They want it to continue to go on. So they implemented a ad network, so then they can continue to fund it.
There's Street Fighters in Wreck-It Ralph.
There's Street Fighters in Super Smash Brothers.
There is.
Yeah, there's 2.
Can you be the bad guy?
No, you can't be Zangief.
No, Zangief!
But let's go ahead and address that.
Spare right between my thighs.
Ryu is the bad guy in some ways.
Let's bring this around to exactly what I was talking about as far as you want Zangief in there. So they already announced that they want to sell DLC characters. Now, those DLC characters may not be pay to win, essentially, but it is characters that we're going to be compelled to buy. For instance, huge Persona fans are going to want to buy that character. Certain people are going to...
It's crazy that they're including him.
I know! Everybody went
Makes us
insane at the Game Awards.
Will there be a Goku character?
Well, that's one that people are talking about, that they want Goku.
No, I want Krillin! Krillin!
Here's another thing. So the new Marvel Alliance is going to be a Nintendo exclusive. And a lot of people are theorizing, because it's a Nintendo exclusive and because Nintendo produced the game and completely bankrolled it, that some X-Men characters, some Marvel characters are gonna be in Smash Brothers in the near future.
That's cool.
That seems logical.
I want to be Black Widow.
I mean, just look at Snake. The reason why Snake's in there is because Nintendo has the rights, or at that time had the rights for Snake still, from Twin Snakes for the GameCube.
Right.
By the way, still a great game. It's arguably better than the original.
Never made much sense.
Maybe I'm being a little. Maybe I'm being a little bit of a neckbeard, but I kind of am not really behind that.
What?
No, I'm not kidding. That putting characters into Smash Brothers who are not Nintendo characters. This is the Nintendo crossover, and I feel like something like that is that's advertised.
Yeah, but it's better. I feel like that advertising I can get more on board with than what they're doing for Street Fighter, which is putting Red Bull on the back of Ken's jersey. Lord. No, that's serious. That's what they're doing.
Wait, like the Red Bull symbol?
Like the Red Bull drink.
Yeah, I mean, that is just plain advertising.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Now, they did say that if you want to opt out of this advertising, you won't continue to unlock new costumes, new characters, and stuff like that. Yeah, I have a whole big thought on that, and I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, this is Smash Brothers time. Yeah. But I'm all for DLC characters.
I am too,
because it's more content.
Yeah, and I mean, we're getting 76 characters right out of the gate. It's not like they're shortchanging us from the beginning. They gave us every single character that we ever had in any Smash, and then they added 11, 12. So the fact that they're allowing us to get some of our favorite characters into the Smash game that was never in a Smash game before, I'm sorry. I think Nintendo has my money in their pocket.
Tell you, after they added Cloud, that seemed like if you would have told even 3 years before the game came out that Cloud is going to be in Smash Brothers, I would not have believed that. Like there's no way. That's doctored. That's false. That's not even real.
If they add Tifa, if they add Tifa into Smash Brothers, that's gonna be crazy. Or Barrett.
I expect her to be a spirit somewhere.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That would make sense.
I know this is weird to say, but who's Tifa?
She's from, well, my favorite game, Final Fantasy VII. She's one of the characters in Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
She's actually a fighter. She does a lot of jujitsu moves. I'll have to show you.
I should play her.
Well, she's not in the game yet. But you can play Final Fantasy VII. I'll have to show you that.
Is there a 2-player?
No.
It's coming for Switch sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Though, what? I mean, I already have it on mobile.
Yeah. Well, I have it on every platform that it was ever created on, so...
I have bought that game probably...
it's just the fact that Cloud is in it. That was mind-blowing to me at the time.
Yep, so I agree with that. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't understand it necessarily, because he's really the only one who has a Nintendo presence whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. He is not a Nintendo character.
In fact, he is the reason for the separation from Nintendo.
Wait a second.
Did I ever tell you, Luke?
Was he in...
theory?
Wait, no. He was. Mind blown. He was in a Nintendo game. He was in the Kingdom Hearts version on the Game Boy. The Game Boy Advance.
Okay. I never knew that.
He wasn't in any of the other Kingdom Hearts because those weren't on Nintendo. But the Game Boy Advanced one, he was.
How about that?
Did I ever tell you my theory that Captain Falcon is an anime character? Brothers, he is an anime character and not a video game character. Did I ever tell you?
No.
Okay. Captain Falcon, There is an F-Zero and came out before Smash Brothers.
Really?
Okay, that came out before, like very shortly before Smash Brothers, around the same time, and all of Captain Falcon's moves that he are from that anime, which came out before Smash Brothers for N64 was a thing. Were these being imagined simultaneously or something like that? But it seems that Falcon Punch, Falcon Kick, all these things, they were from the anime.
Kick! Falcon
and
Punch!
He's a race car driver. He doesn't get out of the cars that he's in, He's like Fox. So they had to imagine moves for him, and they pulled those from the anime.
Theoretically.
At least that's my personal theory.
That's your prediction, and I think it's founded. Okay, so
show me your moves.
All right, I took a bunch of notes as far as like subjects that we need to cover tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and go over those because it's already 9:30. Gameplay wise, I have a few notes on this. I don't know about you guys. Does anybody else want to start?
Yeah, go for
it. Go ahead.
Okay, so gameplay wise, there's a reason why I didn't fully like the Wii version of Smash Brothers, and it wasn't just because of the disappointment about the online play. That's a different story. It wasn't fun as a Smash game because it wasn't snappy, because it wasn't responsive. It didn't have a good refresh rate. It felt slow, it felt sluggish, it did not feel like a Smash game from day one, from Battle 1. And this one does. I've played with 8 people on the screen before, and I haven't seen a single frame drop. It just continues to look beautiful. It continues to feel fun, and it continues to feel competitive. Like, I'm actually in control here.
My biggest gripe with Smash Brothers Wii, and I'm not into the competitive scene, and sometimes I'm a little resentful of how that affects games. That's beside the point. One of the dumbest things that they did in Smash Brothers Wii was they add the random tripping mechanic, which was explicitly, leave it to Nintendo to hamstring themselves, it was explicitly to make it not a competitive scene game.
Ooh,
because it has random mechanics. And Melee was a big staple there, and for the next game, they didn't want their brand to be represented like that. And it's like they didn't want that exposure. Why?
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all, because that just extends the life of your game. I mean, we were just talking about
playing Melee,
Melee is still the gold standard.
It is, but
no, I like Brawl. I didn't have a problem with it. I was just happy I had it that I could play online on.
My favorite thing about Smash Brothers Wii was how moddable it was. All of there's all kind of cool mods for the game. A lot of them that take out these mechanics that you don't like and completely rework characters. Really cool, and I wish some of those changes that the modders made would make it into later releases of.
Have you guys played online yet?
Afraid I haven't gotten around to it.
Mike, did you say no?
I did say no.
Okay. Alright, I have messed around with online a lot. And I do have some notes. So, one thing I will say to all our listeners that are planning on getting this game and playing it online, one thing you will have to make sure is that you have to have, from my testing anyway, you have to have it much more than 10 megabits download speed. Now, if you have that with wireless or wired, it doesn't really seem to matter. But I ran my wireless to my 5G, and I'm getting about 25 to 30 megs down. And for the most part, I had very few issues. Now, the online play seems to be kind of hit or miss. Because it's peer-to-peer. You're not connecting to a server, unfortunately. So if anybody in your opponent's list, if any of them have a low internet connection, everybody's going to be slowed down. And everybody's internet connection is going to stutter. Now, if you get into a match and you're not having any stuttering, stay with that match. Don't get back out, because you're going to get new people and you're going to get to that same chance of it not working. Now, I'm sure that Nintendo might fix this later. I'm hoping they will. Actually, I'm hoping that they'll stand up actual servers for this. But right now, it does work a lot better than it did on Wii.
So I guess making it peer-to-peer makes it so that this is, if they stop supporting the game at some time long in the future, you'll still be able to play it online. Because that's a lot of older games, they can't keep up those servers forever, you know. A lot of other companies would discontinue an online game.
Well,
if it's old.
That's
very far in the future.
Yeah, that's very far in the future. But here's the thing. There's 2 modes for online. There's both the quick match, and there's also arena. And when you create an arena, you create a space on your system that other people can connect to. So even if they did get rid of the quick match system and had their own servers set up, I'm saying that the arena play would just be simply peer-to-peer. So they keep both systems in. Because having a server set up would fix a lot of these problems. Anyway, moving on, since I'm the only one that did online.
Yeah, afraid not.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
I was just kind of waiting around to play you.
What do you guys think about single player? You know, not playing with anybody else.
I'm glad that they brought back a single player, because Subspace Emissary was really fun. And, my friend John brought up something really interesting. Smash 4 for Wii U, I gotta admit, I really didn't play it a lot. It was a game that I only played when I had friends over.
Yeah.
I played it some by myself, but near as much as I did a Melee or Brawl for Wii. And I think a big part of that was a lack of single-player objectives.
Yeah.
Of any reason to play it by yourself. Everything is unlocked at the start. Of course, there's achievements and there's trophies and stuff like that. But this brings that back, and I'm playing it. I can foresee myself playing this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way.
No, they do that, like, when you unlock the characters, it makes you want to play it more, so you can get them all, or a character that you want. And then, like, when a new one comes out, you really want it, and then they would get more people to buy their product.
Speaking of, since you mentioned unlocking characters, so for anybody that's playing this, and I just figured this out, if you fight a new challenger, because that's how you have to unlock people.
They are hard to beat.
They are. If you lose, you don't lose the ability to unlock them. You don't have to wait all the time to fight them again randomly. If you go into the other settings, there is an actual section for challengers, and you can have a second chance to unlock that character.
Yeah, I think it's in the single player area in the top right. I think it's like that. Yeah, you can re-challenge them.
It's in the same area as
Daddy,
the character creation.
Unlock Sheik.
What?
I want you to unlock Sheik.
One of my buddies in college discovered Ocarina of Time. I mean, this was like in 2007 or so, that he never played. And he got around to playing it. It was really exciting to relive it with him, because he comes to the cafeteria and stuff, and I can't believe I never played. This is the coolest game ever. Yeah, I know, it was out when I was like in middle school, and yeah, just every single thing. Oh my God, I got to the Forest Temple. Tell me all about it. I want to tell you all about it. And it was cool to see his level of excitement of your old game at the time.
Every turn of that game. And see, that's the thing. Even though there's such a rich story for that game, it's still replayable. I think I've played that game and beat it as many times. No, you know what? I've beat that game more times than I've beat Final Fantasy VII. Because I've only beaten Final Fantasy VII maybe 7 or 8 times. But
Jeez, man.
But I've beat Ocarina, I'm gonna have to say at least 20 times.
Final Fantasy VII at least 20 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never... It's rare for me to replay games.
If it's a good game, you want to replay it.
Yeah.
Those are about the only two I'd replay.
Even though it might get easier and easier when you replay a game.
Zelda Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that era, because those are all replayable.
Which Zelda game that you replay all the time that's on my 3DS that you always take my 3DS to play that?
That's Ocarina of Time. That's the one that I want you to play.
No, I thought that one was like the Sword and the Stone or something like that. Like...
There is a sword, and it is in a stone.
It is, though.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
I like, coming back to Smash Brothers, I like that Link in this one, he has the items that he would have from Breath of the Wild. I don't especially like the remote detonate bombs, but that further differentiates young Link from adult Link. If you don't want to have to fool with those detonatable bombs, just he has the regular bombs.
Yeah.
So it makes them more different of a character.
All right, let's take a second to have a word from our sponsor.
All right.
Did you guys play Classic Mode at all?
A little bit.
Quite a bit.
So the one thing I like about Classic Mode versus the Story Mode, so the Story Mode is like your long-term, like almost RPG element. But
I haven't played Story Mode.
Classic Mode, I was able to play it to completion in about 15 to 20 minutes. It was great.
They're easily digestible. Then I've got about 20 minutes to play, so run one round of class.
Yeah. It is the thing that they've done that's really smart is they've got a long form game and a short like handheld that you can just pick up and play for a couple minutes.
Yeah. The one thing that I've really been enjoying with the game is I've been playing it every morning when I get up. I make my breakfast and I play Smash Brothers for 15 minutes while I eat. Every morning. And I've been loving it for that.
Wow. Daddy.
God, what a dork.
So, have you guys tried out the fighter creation yet?
Do you mean the fighter, like the me character?
Yes.
I always create one character for myself, but I really don't play those very much.
So
I'm really good at my character because basically all the moves in my character is like jiu-jitsu moves.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Okay, so Bella, she was having a hard time with some of the characters that we had unlocked. But with this one, it's a kind of character that she understands how she's supposed to play. Not only does she understand all the moves, like she knows the moves, like how to do them, but she understands the fundamentals of that character because she framed it around herself.
Also, I know the timing when to do the moves.
Exactly. Have you guys had a chance to play with a multiplayer? Actually, I know Alex has had a chance to do the multiplayer. Tell me about your weekend, Alex.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, at a great Saturday, the day after it came out, I had a bunch of my friends, a bunch of my old buddies from high school, and
wasn't Brian with you?
Yeah, Brian.
To our listeners,
my daddy.
The Brian that he's talking about is the Brian that was in the Extra Life episode.
My daddy wanted to go,
right. He
but
was on
he
your
had
show.
to come to my chemistry class.
What?
The chemistry class.
What about it? Oh,
it was the day you had that thing I wanted to go to.
So anyway, me and my buddies from high school, back in high school, like, has that been 15 years? Yeah, just about. All those years ago, we we would have these game events that we'd all go over to Brian's house or to my house and play games like all day. We called it the game tournament. And we kind of got away from that in college, but years later, afterward, we got the gang back together at tournaments again. So every couple months or so, somebody hosts game tournament day. We got back into it. And this one, we kind of scheduled it around the release for this game, so I had a bunch of my friends, how many? I think we had 6. We had 6 players, and it was like just a whole day, and that's basically all we did. We just played Smash all day long.
Did you have pizza?
One of the, what did we eat? We didn't even eat. That was the other thing. We didn't. We usually go out for pizza. We usually go down to like Little Caesars because it's quick. And no, we didn't even eat.
Did you?
We seriously
did. You have water at least?
Oh yeah. We had water and soda and beer and stuff. We had junk food. We lived on junk. Just like when we were kids. So one of the features in the game that itself to having a big party, especially a release day party, is that characters unlock just from playing it normally. Just at a regular interval, characters unlock. So that's what we did. Play the game, unlock a new character, and then everybody has to play the new character and play it some more. It was one of our best game days in forever.
That's awesome. And see, that's one of the things that I've liked. I've really liked playing multiplayer with Bella because it just reminds me so much of the times that I spent with Mike. In college, we played the crap out of Super Smash Brothers, both for N64 and Melee, all the time. So I really like the multiplayer, and I like there's just so many options on how to play. In fact, by accident, I just figured out yesterday that if the viewpoint analog stick does a smash in that direction. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Like the C stick on the GameCube controller.
Yeah. Yeah, it will do a smash in that direction.
Good to know.
So who's all of your favorite characters? Who would you call your main character that you play whenever you really?
So my main right now, and has always been my main since he came out, was Marth. I have been a Marth main forever.
I am on Team Pikachu.
Stupid electric hamster.
Yeah,
that's what I love about him. He's zippy and he's powerful.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, now
I mostly play Samus or Princess Peach are kind of my main.
Now I have had a new secondary, and I love playing him. He's never been in a game before. Ridley, he is.
Oh yeah,
I'm not even going to say he's
becoming a new favorite.
I'm not even going to say he's OP. He's just very versatile.
Can I say mine now?
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so my main is Peach, and my secondary Pikachu.
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 Wizard Pikachu.
Wizard.
Stupid electric hamster.
No, is that a hamster in?
Yeah, he is.
Detective Hamster.
Oh. No, what did the wizard Pikachu? All it is just Pikachu, but he has like a little party hat on. I just call him Wizard and Pikachu. It's so tiny.
I almost talking about our video game day, talking about our favorite characters. So another thing about our video game days that's just become a tradition with my friends is what we call the King of the Dresses match. That it was what we used to do in back in Melee, that everybody plays at the time either Peach or Zelda, and whoever wins is the King of the Dresses. This progressed over the years that I eventually bought a Princess Peach crown. Like a cosplay crown. Yeah.
I can see where you're going with this.
And that became the trophy for the King of the Dresses.
King of the Dresses. Whoever. I love it.
And now we all play a female character. And Well, we used to say that Marth counts because he looks like a girl.
That's what I say to Daddy! I say to Daddy all the time. I was like, hey, Daddy, are you playing a girl? He's like, no, that's a boy. And it's like, he looks like a girl, and it looks like he's wearing a tiara.
He is wearing a tiara. He really is wearing a tiara.
Notwithstanding that I actually did unlock Marth's granddaughter. Was it granddaughter?
Yeah.
Who is it? Who is it?
I forget what her name is. It starts with an L. Lucreta? What is it?
Yeah. Lucina.
Lucina.
How short is he? What does she look like?
She looks like Marth, just more feminine.
Does she have long hair?
Yes.
Same tiara?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't remember. But yeah, so we have the King of the Dresses battle, and whoever wins takes home the crown, and this time who actually defended the title, that he previously had it, and he came here and he kept it. So he takes the crown home with him, and next time we have a game day,
who is it?
The title it'll be up for grabs again.
Who had
one of my buddies from high school.
Oh, okay. So, really, we've covered all the points that I had. The only other thing that I had was graphics, and I think it goes without saying that this game looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Agreed.
Smash's only N64 game, I remember being blown away by how detailed the animations are.
I know.
That, like, I remember,
smooth.
like, I mean, this was back in high school, that going into turning it on, like, ultra slow mode and zoom way in, and just see little things like how Fox twirls his gun, and how just tiny detail. 4 game had so much detail in the animation. Not just the visuals, but the animation.
Yeah.
And they've always continued that.
They've just made it better. And they haven't made it overbearing. I will say that because TVs and video game systems are getting more advanced, now that there is room for more detail, it is a little bit harder to track. And it was hard enough with Melee, but it's getting a little harder. But I don't know if that's just because I'm getting older. On a 1 to 10 scale, Alex, what would you give this game?
This is a 10 out of 10. Okay. Absolutely. I feel like I don't want to. I don't think I'm exaggerating that. This is a gold standard S rank.
It's. I don't know how Nintendo has made so many wins in such a short period of time. Especially as bad as they messed up in the previous generation. They came out with Breath of the Wild, they came out with Odyssey, and now they came out with this. I mean, there's a bunch of other really good titles. But those three just stand out.
I rather dislike the Nintendo hate bandwagon that's pervasive on the internet. Mm-hmm. It's cool to hate Nintendo, right? But I've always been an apologist for them. But man,
okay, Mike, what would you give this?
I'm gonna go with a 9.5.
Okay.
Melee is still the gold standard. The story mode's insane, and the single player is just as good as it's always been. I find myself getting lost when it's like a huge brawl going on, and which that happens. And maybe I'm just getting old, but I get frustrated trying to relocate myself sometimes, and that could be too because I mainly play the Switch handheld, and so maybe because it's a small trouble finding myself.
Yeah.
But other than that, I did play for the first time on the TV tonight, and I did much better, I thought, than how I was holding it. But I'm still deep diving in, and it's a damn good game. That's all I can say about it.
Bella, what would you give it?
The Smash Brothers Ultimate?
Yeah, that's what we're still talking about.
Okay. 8.5.
Rate your own game.
That's fine. That's a good score from you.
Why I said 8.5? I don't like one of the levels. It's just like it's too distracting.
Oh yeah. There's a few levels where it's very, very hard to both track where you are, but also stay out of traps and stuff. But that's part of that's part of what this game is it's not just the same fighting game over and over and over again.
Or like, I like sometimes that Peach's umbrella, you just like drift off. No, not Peach.
It's Wendy.
Sorry, my me character, because he like kicks, he kicks straight up because like when you hit up in special to save yourself, he's supposed to go like way up because that's how you do the up punch. So like when you're trying to save yourself, you don't go straight to the surface. You just go high up and then you die.
You know, one of the great, there's so many quality of life features in this game. So many small things that when they're not there, and one of them is being able to turn off level hazards. Because in previous games, there's a lot of levels that I like, but I don't like that the level kills me half the time. And like, oh my goodness, the Mega Man music and Dr. Wily's castle and the Yellow Devil that is the biggest enemy in more than any of your opponents.
I don't like the like.
You can turn that off.
One. The one that looks like a drawing. What is that one called? Something Hotel.
I forget what the name of that one is.
Yeah, but it just looks like a big doodle. Is it Browser's?
Bowser's?
Bowser's, yeah, sorry. Bowser's Hotel? Where is it, Bowser?
I don't remember.
Neither do I.
So, for myself, I've gone back and forth between a 9 and a 10. As much as I want to agree with you, Alex, that this is like every bit as great of a game as it, I'm going to say that it has completely lived up to every bit of hype that I wanted it to have. But, and I'm not even going to say that Melee was a 10. I'm going to say that that this is as good as Melee. And I would give Melee a 9.5 right along with this.
All right.
You guys are all free to be wrong, and I respect your decisions to be.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be wrong. That's fine.
I don't love it as much as I like Dragon Ball Z Fighter.
Yeah, I know you love that game.
They are very nice to people who just like mashing the buttons. That is the opposite of Smash Brothers. You have to be right at the angle for the right punch.
Yeah, you have to be precise with that game. You have to be precise with Smash Brothers. That's one of the things that I really like about Smash Brothers. It is very, very approachable. It's very easy. Its controls are simplistic, but within those simplistic controls, there is so many variations. It's so granular. There's so much to that game. I think you, Mike, and you, Alex, and me, we're all telling our listeners, go buy this game. It is awesome.
Go buy the game.
Yeah, I would say that if anybody that has a Switch,
like my daddy,
this would be a stupid
it during breakfast.
Stupid thing to pass up. It is one of the best games. It's a system seller.
You don't have a Switch? Get a Switch. There's a lot of great games out for it now.
And you know what I really like about the Switch? There's so many indie titles for it out now too.
Absolutely, they are really capitalizing on that. It's something that Nintendo hasn't done.
You know what I'd really like them to do though? I'd like them to add Humble Bundle. I would like them to add Nintendo games onto Humble Bundle. We've gone 15 minutes over, which is all fault of me.
Welcome to the end.
Welcome to the end.
Welcome to the end, everybody. Hopefully next week
Merry Christmas. Merry early Christmas.
Hopefully next week we'll be having our episode with Mike Stewart and the FMs in the basement of the Book and Bean. Thank you for hanging on. Thank you, Mike, for hanging on. Thank you, Alex, for
and
hanging
Merry
on.
early Christmas. Merrily Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody.
And I hope you all join us again next week on RGCWV.